Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome back to our playthrough of space exploration. Um, in our last episode, we got absolutely wrecked by some biters and had to deal with some huge bases. And as I mentioned, I ended up turning on peaceful mode, and then I kind of went on a killing spree between episodes, and took quite a while, but with enough turrets and bullets, I cleared a big biter nest up here in the corner towards the oil. I think there was one over here. Obviously, there's one down here. I left a turret, apparently. Um, Cleared a biter nest. I think there was 3 or 4 around this edge. So currently, we are polluting, but we are not hitting any biters' nests. I also turned off the biter expansion because, honestly, I don't want to have to deal with tons of biters. But what we can do is we can turn peaceful mode back to false here. And so biters will attack us once we end up polluting them. And then really the only other stuff I've done in the last section between videos is get a lot more items because everything was crafting while I was out killing things. So we've got plenty of motors and burner inserters and iron plates and all that good stuff. So we should be able to hit the ground running with our episode, being able to get some smelting lines going. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is craft... Oh, I don't even have them unlocked yet. Electric mining drills. And then I want a lot more transport belts. So we'll get those going. I'm excited to really see what space exploration has to offer. The early game is fun. It's a little different because of the AAI Industries, but space exploration itself doesn't really kick in until, obviously, you start going to space. So, looking forward to that. I don't remember if I'd set this up before or not, but we've got some processed fuel that we can grab whenever we need it to refuel everything, and I added another line of burner labs just so that we can use up all the red science that we have going here. Although, depending on the speed of the research, you can see that it's a little too slow. So it's probably time to start crafting some assembling machines. A lot of things are running out of fuel, so we'll just fill everything that's emptying with some processed fuel. You can see all the zeros are when it, oops, I just took fuel out. Keep doing that. Some of these already have coal in them, so you can't mix different fuel types. Alright, there we go. And now we have powered assemblers, which work at the exact same speed, but they consume a little bit less power, and they consume electricity instead of fuel. I can't make regular labs yet, so we'll have to wait on that. There's also these wind turbines. I'm not sure how much electricity those generate, but those might be a alternative to solar power in the early game, kind of like a early way to deal with that. I should probably repair these 8 turrets. You know, it's interesting when you pick up a bunch of turrets that are damaged. They're all at different damage levels, but I think they round to some fraction because then I ended up with 8 turrets that were exactly halfway dead. So, definitely, I know they weren't all exactly at 200 health when I picked them up, so who knows how they got there. Okay, we are getting close to our electric mining. We'll pick up some more motors. Make sure we've got plenty of inserters. Need to craft regular electric inserters rather than burner inserters. I think they're a combination of electric motors and regular inserters. So I can actually, if I do this right, I can turn this and put regular motors into here. Or this will make mess that up. I want this to make electric motors. And then I will have to have some copper wire going in. Out of a chest. and then we can craft some regular inserters here. If we can just keep some copper supplied. And that will be very useful, because you never stop needing more inserters. And I will work on getting some more assemblers, and we just finished the electric mining drill. So we're going to need a lot of electric motors. So I have half a mind to actually just automate electric motors altogether. So we'll need gears into motors, and the motors go into electric motors. We'll have a chest there, and this can be wire. I think that'll work. So this will be gears. This will be motors, which both need iron, and then electric motors need motors and cables, which will come from here. That will put the copper in, and we've got 2 diagonal inserters feeding. We'll have to go. Not quite perfect. And then we'll put the motors in a chest. I guess we don't need to limit it because we'll be limited in how much we put in. 1, 2, 3 stacks of iron, and we'll do 3 stacks of copper. And that'll get me 100 motors over time, if I got it all correct. Looks like it's working. So there we go. Electric motors automated just like that. We'll take our inserters, and we will craft 10 of each mining drill for iron and copper. We will grab more transport belts. We'll need to make more transport belts. Pick up all of our iron. Put a bunch more. Pick up our copper. I started putting the extra in a chest because I had more than I knew what to do with. But we'll put another stack's worth of electric motor crafting. And then I will replace all of these with regular assemblers. And I think I replaced all the burner inserters with regular inserters as well, just to make sure we don't run out of fuel in our inserters. Okay, let's get our mining lines going. So I'm going to go grab the copper first, bring it over to the left, and then I'll grab iron and bring it up and to the left, and we'll do all our smelting here. We'll need to connect power. Need one more. Who put all these rocks here? Covering my ore field. Rocks and trees. So at some point soon we'll get the nanobots, which is another quality of life mod that I absolutely adore. It allows you to essentially have construction robots very early, but they're little magazines that are one-time uses of 10 bots each, so you do have to spend resources to keep yourself supplied with bots. And we'll just start with enough for 5 copper per second, which won't be a lot for late game, but it will be plenty until we get to needing circuits in large amount. So we can always add more later. There we go. Nice and clean. And the 1.1 update means that you can move your mouse up and down while you're doing a belt, and it will stay on the same straight line. So that's super handy to have. And if you hit the R button, then the belt moves to where your cursor is. So you do need to be in the right spot. But looking at the mini-map, it looks like we are crossing over our iron area. So we'll go a little bit to the left so we can clear this area, and then we'll bring the coal down to do fuel processing in this area, which we can then send over to our, I need to get radars, send over to our power and over to our smelting as well. So we'll just go a little farther. Of course, there are rocks everywhere. I feel like when you decide where a straight belt is going to go, you always end up picking the straight line that goes through the most rocks and the most trees possible. It's a little bit of Murphy's Law. Okay. These shapes are a little weird. They almost look like countries or something. Got these weird little extensions. I could imagine that's Florida. Okay. We'll try to use the edges first. Eventually we might cover the whole thing, but for now, 10 will be plenty. Need more pulls. Just craft a bunch, ad nauseum. And then we will run our belt up, and we'll need to connect power. And we'll definitely be expanding our iron production at some point soon, but we'll just get it going before we add more drills. Oh, I've just placed a bunch of ghosts. I think there's a setting in 1.1 that changes whether ghosts show the little blue outline or not. I might want to turn that off because it's hard to tell that your pulls are ghosts and not real power pulls when they still have that blue aura. And we can bring our power down here. Just like that. Don't have radars unlocked, otherwise I would go ahead and do that. We'll get nanobots, near inserters, and radar. Gotta search for it here. Looks like we need electronics first. So we might as well get started on that. We've got research set up. It'll at least happen slowly. Alright, we're officially mining both iron and copper from the large patches. And now we can set up our basic smelting. I think I'm just going to set up a little bit of each, and then we will use nanobots to finish the copy-paste that I'll have to do many, many times. And nanobots will be helpful in clearing these trees too. So I'm going to want a line of copper, in this case iron, and a line of fuel. And we will set up the classic design that I actually learned way back when they had scenarios, or I can't remember if it was called a campaign or not, but you had to fix up an old broken down base, and they had this design where the power poles were in between underground belts, and that was back when I was fresh and new in Factorio. It was a fun world. I think we would all pay money to go back to not knowing how to play Factorio. Oh, I messed this up though. There we go. Or no, that was correct. Yeah, it's a one space, and you fill that there. Okay, so we've got inserters taking properly from the fuel belt, and we want these to all be taking from the iron belt. Perfect. And then I like to use a design where we place on a near belt, so that way the whole design is 2 tiles skinnier. So then you can do that. And we'll actually, it's kind of wasting an underground, but that way we can copy paste the design better. We'll tile more nicely. We'll go up, up, down, down. Make sure to rotate these. Perfect. And we have our power poles powering everything in the middle. And then we'll need to power everything on the sides. I think I'll just go with whatever makes the poles go in straight lines. Looks nice. And then we'll have power coming from underneath. Looks like it's on this line. Okay, so we've got that powered. And I think I will leave some space here so that we can expand the copper to the right and the iron to the left. But I'll still want some space in between the two because I'll probably want to have beacons and larger furnaces. If I'm remembering correctly, I don't remember if it's Castorio 2 or Space Exploration, but there were some big furnaces that are even bigger. Yeah, industrial furnace. So I think those are 5x5, so they're very large. So we'll give ourselves maybe 6 units of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shift click so it'll erase trees. And we'll bring up the copper. And then this whole design is 8, so that will give me 2.5 plates. So I'll need to paste this 2 times for 5, which means 6 times for a full belt. And let's go ahead and craft some nanobots. We'll need our nano emitter, and then these little nanobot construction bots. And essentially, these are ammunition for the gun. Takes a long time to craft. While that goes, we'll work on getting fuel on a line down here. I think we'll go try to meet up right about where the iron happens. It's hard to make straight lines from this high up, but I think it's somewhere around this tile. So this will be our line of processed fuel. And we will go ahead and just make a separate offshoot here. We'll go to the right first, because that's where our power ends up happening. But then we'll go to the left to fuel our furnaces. And we'll need a couple of fuel processors. 2 or 3 should be plenty. Do 2 inserters each, 1 inserter out. Maybe we'll just do 4, make it a nice even number. Gotta power everything. And then I will use my hotkey, Shift Q, to have them place on the near side of the belt. So this is a nice way to have belts have items on both lanes without having to do anything complicated. Although I'm going the wrong direction. Gotta go to the right and down. And that will bring us processed fuel. And we'll bring that all the way down, grab some belts on the way. We don't have a lot of space, so we'll go underneath and over. Again, running into rocks. Trees. More rocks. It happens. Okay. And we'll make this a design that can keep going straight, so we don't have to worry about later. We'll go as far as we can. And we'll do the same thing here. Split off, go up. Underground, 4 spaces. And then we need to switch our weapon over to the nano emitter. And then you can see my little nanobots start placing, but you can see the ammunition go down here. We're down to 9. And now we're down to 8. And I ran out of electric poles and regular inserters. And then we can also make a deconstruction planer for trees, rocks only. And then we will just have this go way up here. So my construction bots will work on that. It's a little bit cheaper than grenades and faster than grenades, so Saves you a little bit of time in the early game. Perfect. Okay. So I am going to copy the iron section of this a few more times because I know I'm going to need more than 2.5 iron per second. So that'll be 5. And then we'll copy that to get to... Let's see. Did I make a mistake? Oh, I think I just didn't tile the design properly here. I'm not sure what's happened. Looks like something went wrong here. There we go. I think maybe it'd be better if we had this, because then, again, it will copy-paste correctly. So this design is 16, so that will do 5 iron per second, and so we'll paste that onto the end of it. That will get us 10, and this will be 1 full belt of iron. Takes a lot of things. We're going to need to go get some more supplies. So I'll craft some nanobots while I walk. It's funny, you can see the nanobots still flying over there. Once you've queued up the nanobots and they've decided they're going to go build something, even if you walk away, they still end up building it, which is very nice. But they're not actually able to go that far. You have to be right next to it for them to queue up. Okay, we need to pick up all of our iron. There we go. I maybe should be making more ammunition, but it looks like my pollution is still mostly under control. There are some unknown areas that it might start spreading into, so I should probably have a decent supply on my person so that I can drop some turrets in case of an emergency. So we'll do another couple hundred ammunition. And then we will collect our motors that we worked so hard to automate. Collect some more inserters. We will need some more furnaces, which I need stone for. Try to remember. Oh yeah, my stone's way up here. We ran out of stone on that drill and this one. So we will have a new one. Build that with processed fuel. And that's enough to make 50 more furnaces, which should be plenty. And we'll fuel up these drills and furnaces for copper. Grab some more iron. Never have too much iron. Grab the copper. And we will fill our little chest here with more stacks of iron. This one needs copper. For inserters, this one needs copper and iron. For electric motors. And I will need to craft a bunch of poles, which I will automate at some point, but I think right now it's probably not a huge priority. Okay, everything seems to be running, except we have an issue here. I don't have enough coal. So we're going to switch these to electric miners. So I should be careful. I need to make sure I don't have some sort of deadlock. Oh, that's right. When I take the processed fuel, then it is going to gobble up all this coal. So we'll just keep that like that for now. So I've got plenty of coal to fuel my electricity. And one thing that I'll want to do, which I haven't set up quite yet, is set up a dedicated power line so that the power can't go out. So it'll power the coal miners. So whatever I'm mining here, I'll have a separate power grid just for those, and I'll use the power from that to power the miners so that even if I run out of electricity, I don't get less coal or less processed fuel. I found that can be a death spiral that you can get sucked into pretty easily. Okay, we need to avoid copper for now. Like so. We'll go straight up. That should do it. And let's see if I can fit another couple miners. Avoid that. iron. Each one of these is twice as fast as a burner, so this is 4 coal per second. Not a ton, but should be enough for now. That'll be 4.5. And I'll get the coal coming from top left here soon. But this will be enough to at least keep me going. And that will fully power my electricity, which, let's see how we're doing. We have plenty. And that will build up over time. It'll take a little while to get saturated, but once it gets saturated, the furnaces won't use a ton of fuel. Because each furnace uses 90. So if we have 40, I believe it's 48. 48 times 90. That's basically 50 times 100, which is 5 megawatts? So just half of one of these per second. So not too much. We need some more regular electricity powered in assemblers. I keep saying inserters instead of assemblers. There we go. And let's see if we can build everything. We will need a lot of undergrounds. I forgot about underground belts. I should do it. Maybe that won't do it. Craft some more. Make sure all of our furnaces are placed. The nice thing about the bots is that, you know, they'll pick up the trees and then place the thing that's supposed to go underneath it. It just saves a lot of the hassle. Looks like I have run out of inserters. So I'll craft some more of those by hand. This whole build uses 144 inserters, so that's pretty intense. Yeah, 48. Which makes sense, because they do about a third each, so. 144 inserters. That's insane. Okay. Let's see if we've built everything. Well, if we've missed anything, my bots are, or it's not in my inventory because my bots aren't building anything. So then we'll bring these together. Just make this look a little nicer. Go out to the side. And then we will go up. And we'll start a big stone pad for our base over here. And for now, we'll just run the copper line over to the side, same way. Although we will get to 5 copper per second. So that's half. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 furnaces. There we go. That should do it. We'll need more undergrounds, more inserters. More power poles. But it feels so good once these get going. And then we'll run our copper up. Like so. And then we will also get stone and stone brick going from our stone patch over here. Okay, we will grab some more of all of these things. Let's drill this out. Get a little bit more ammo going. Never be too careful. And we'll supply these. They'll be obsolete pretty soon, but just to get enough stacks of everything to carry us into having an actual little mall. Grab some more copper. Fuel up all the things. Won't be much longer that I'll be needing to fuel burner creations, which would be nice on the pollution side of things. I think if I had really known how difficult the biters were going to be, I probably would have avoided polluting as much as possible. And I would have found a way to be very efficient with my pollution. But I just wanted to jump right in, so. Okay, that seems to work. We'll do the miners for coal next. So 5, and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 10 more, and we'll join that with these miners. Because coal is the first thing you don't want to run out of. Grab some more belts. Power poles to run up to the coal patch. Okay, this is a nice coal patch. This will probably last us, I would imagine, most of the game. Or at least most of this planet, because a lot of the game will be on different planets. Okay, we'll just line this up. So that I don't even have to balance anything out there. Perfect. The coal down. Let's maybe get started on some research. I've been wasting a lot of potential research time, I guess. So you can also upgrade nanobot range and their speed, which is how many items you can construct per second. Once you've finished all 4 of these upgrades, they work very quickly. They actually work faster than construction bots when it comes to things close to your character. I will need to research green science at some point. More inventory slots. Fast inserter. I will want that as soon as possible. I hate waiting for insertion, but we will also need glass for our electric labs and for optics. So we'll work on those things first. And then we'll maybe move back towards fast inserters and steel. We'll get those queued up. I don't know. I don't think I have enough resources in the current labs for that, but I can add some more here in a second. Oh, I overshot that quite a bit. So I will use Andy Control X, and bots will help me deconstruct. Sometimes you end up fighting them for who gets to deconstruct or construct something, but that's fine. Okay, is there an elegant way to do this? We need to join together both of these. Like so, and then go back down. I don't know if I'd say that's elegant, but it definitely works, and output priority to the left. So now we have more than enough coal. And hopefully these will start working more full-time. I mean, each of these can provide up to 10 megawatts of output, because the 9.09 consumption, that's because they actually increase the efficiency. So even though they use 9.09, they produce 10. So theoretically, I have 40 megawatts of power, chemical fuel power. Okay, so I think I will make my base just to the left here, and then I can route the iron into it, the copper into it. I've got coal available if I need it for later, which I probably will for oil and oil products. I know you start using coal in those. And then the stone patch that is way up here to the right, I'll get that routed down and over to the left. Do I have enough power for all of that? I do. Okay. So let's work on the stone next. We'll do... just make a lot of those. I'll need them. And then I could just remove these. I'm trying to think if I want to or not, because I have plenty now coming from each of these if I just collect it with a chute. So we'll start our base. We have enough height on these, so we can go over now. And we'll start it right here. So this will be like the corner of our stone pad. And so we will output to the left first, but then this is where we will collect the extra copper, which I can pick up. And we need to cancel a few of these so I can get my chute. Perfect. And output priority right. So now these chests will fill up quite quickly. I think the 3.75 actually is only for outputting. It seems when you're inputting them into the chest, that clearly is much faster. And it actually looks like it's 15 per second. Like that full yellow belt is just heading on in there. So I think something about the input rate for chutes and mini loaders might not quite be correct because it's only supposed to be doing 3.75 per second. So that might be some sort of a bug. I don't know if it has to do with 1.1 or if that's just how mini loaders work. I'm not massively experienced with them. I've used them a lot, but I've never really done the math to make sure they're working at the rate that's advertised. And we definitely need some more resources for our science production. So that will be 10 drills, and I think 10 for stone will be plenty. We'll maybe bump it up to 12. Because you use a lot of stone bricks, and you also use stone for sand, so maybe we'll do 14, 16. Our fuel starting to pile up. Take our firearm magazines. Dump a few more stacks of iron into the places it needs to go. Copper. Take more inserters. I should have enough inserters for quite a while. And we'll take 167 electric motors. That will help us a lot. We'll just pick that up. And now we'll go work on stone. So we'll run power over. Keep going in a straight line with the original power pole. Guess I could. Yeah, I'll just actually attach it from the power from the generators. Because I've already got a line down here. And I believe biters tend to not attack power poles, but who knows? Maybe that's been changed. I hope not. Because the whole base would go down. Okay, this is a massive stone patch, so I think I could arrange these almost any way I want to, and they would fit perfectly. So we'll just go as low down as we can. 6, 7, 8. The new mining drill design in 1.0 is quite beautiful. I've enjoyed it. I think there was a little bit of an outrage when they changed it, and then they changed it again to something slightly different, and people loved it after that. Okay, we will go out, and over, and then this one will connect. That, perfect. Now, how do I want this belt to go? I wish I had a radar. Oh, I guess I can see what's happening, sort of. So we'll want to bring the stone over. Maybe we'll cross over this coal line right here, so I can... Oh, there was a 7... Oh, that's my old stone patch, right. I thought that was a new stone patch that I hadn't noticed. I was about to feel very silly. So I think we'll go across, and then once we get past where these boilers are, we'll come down, and then we'll go across again. Although sometimes I have boilers mirrored to fit more of them, so maybe we'll just go all the way across. We have run out of belts. Okay. I can handcraft quite a few, but I will need to pick up some more. We'll get some more nanobots. Can never have too many nanobots. I will automate them once we get our actual base going. Okay, these have all run out of power. I think that's okay. I'll let them. We're super close to not needing them ever again. And at some point I'll just mine up all that iron and use it up in our regular iron smelting lines. I'm not sure if 228 belts is enough, but it will be close. So we'll see how far we can get. And I do need to have an entire smelting setup for stone as well, so I need to think about where I want to put that. Dead, dry, hairy tree. It's a fun name. Okay, so regular stone can... I'll actually have it go over the coal, because we'll need it on the other side. And then maybe... So our fuel is here. We could maybe send some fuel up, and then have our stone smelting in this region, so then we can build off to the left. That works for me. It's maybe not perfectly organized, but we'll split this. I don't think I really need a priority here. Half and half seems fine. The stone line is always going to use less fuel anyway. And then I will need to copy. We'll copy my copper line, and we'll make stone brick with that. Just copy the entire thing, why not? I love copy paste. It's hard to remember a day when that didn't exist. So considering I may want to make this longer at some point. 1, 2, 3. It'll need to be somewhere around here if we want to make a full line. Rocks everywhere. Okay, run this up. Try to avoid messing with this stone patch. You know, I could just use this stone to supply this first. At some point we'll make the switch. And then we'll just leave the splitter to do half and half. And make a lot more underground belts. We'll need regular belts. I think I have enough furnaces. I have enough inserters. I need more transport belts, though. And we will need to connect up these power poles to the nearest power, which will be down. So that's connected. We'll grab some more belts. Only 84. I think that'll be enough, though. We'll grab some iron from our chest, which will soon be home base. Let's grab as much as we can. That should do it. Make sure we have enough inserters. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We actually do have enough electric motors for now, I believe. At least for my handcrafting needs. Okay, so let's see if we can get this design all done. I'll need more nanobots. Faithfully placing all my buildings for me. And let's see if this works. We got stone bricks, the first 4. Beautiful. Something very satisfying about seeing all that come together. And then we will run this. Actually, we'll go up over to here. so that these two lines can travel together. And they'll come down together. Okay, and we'll get those just a little bit farther. Always running out of belts. Is there a way I can make this go faster? I need more motors. Motors needs more gears. Oh, again, too slow. Too slow on the iron going in. That's why I added this earlier. If I just put iron in there, it speeds up the whole process a lot. Still only have 30. That's not even enough to really do anything with, so we'll grab some more iron from over here and get to handcrafting. Okay, 2,000 is a lot. That'll help. And then we will want to start collecting a chest full of stone bricks so that we can make our construction pad where we put all of our buildings. So we'll have those come in from the side and the stone come in from the side. And then we'll need to get glass going because glass is something we need for construction. I don't know how much it's used in mass, but we will need at least some amount of it to start building all the labs because they use glass. I'll put priority left on that one, right on that one. Have our chutes and chests. And then we can start collecting stone bricks to use right here. Let's give it its own little spot on the hotbar for now. Okay, so this is the beginning of our base. We'll expand up and to the left, and this will be a big square of crafting. We'll make sure it's defended with turrets. Our pollution, I'm sure, yeah, has spread a little bit. Not too bad. I think the size of this radius is big enough that the edges don't have a lot of pollution. So we've got all of our mining going. We will work on getting some radars placed and labs placed. But for now, I think I'm going to call this the end of the episode. And I'll just do a couple more busy work items between episodes, but don't worry, you won't miss any of the real action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.